Hi, everyone. My name is Jake. I will be your TA for this semester. I am a fourth year PhD student in the Cognitive Psychology and Cognitive Science program here at CU. My advisor is Marie Banich, and interestingly enough, she is the person who wrote your textbook that you'll be going through this semester for your cognitive neuroscience class, and I am one of her students. So, just a little bit of background on me. I have a pretty strong history in data science, computational methods, with child neurodevelopment and intrusive thought research. So, if you have any questions, even about just graduate school in general, or the paths or the different career paths, if you're not interested in graduate school, I would be happy to meet with you and discuss those a little bit more. Just some house cleaning. On Fridays, I will be hosting office hours from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If for any reason those hours don't work for you, just shoot me an email and we will set up another time to meet to help you with any other issues that you might be having. So I am going to be teaching labs for sections 201 and 202, and we're going to be meeting Wednesday afternoons. And for each lab, really what we're going to be doing is running different experiments that contain components of Research Rabbit, which we're going to be working with a little bit in today's lab, MATLAB, and RStudio. So just an overview of what we're going to be doing in today's lab is just familiarizing you with these two software packages of MATLAB and RStudio and getting you set up and making sure that you're comfortable running them. Later on, as we go through this tutorial here, I will just make certain notes about what you want to keep in mind about when you're downloading and setting up and configuring the MATLAB files. But what we're going to be starting with in today's lab is just working with RStudio. If some of you have taken research methods before, you probably worked with RCode or RStudio in some form. We're going to be doing something very similar today. Fortunately, there's not going to be a lot of analysis that needs to be done on your end. You're just going to get comfortable downloading and unzipping this race R zip file, opening R, and then running the script. So there's really not much that you have to do, more or less just outside of executing the script, saving the document that it generates, and uploading it for partial completion for your homework for part one of this lab. One thing to also keep in mind is that as I'm making these tutorial videos, I will be asking questions throughout them. And this just ensures that you're prepared and engaged in the tutorial videos, but also so that you can get credit for them at the very end. And then moving on to part two for the lab is we're going to be working through some MATLAB testing. So one thing to note is that this path right here may differ for some of you depending on whether you're on a Windows or a Mac machine, or also depending on if you're using the CU computers. However, I will be present tomorrow and we could definitely work through this step right here of getting you set up because there's going to be two components to the MATLAB files that you're going to be working with. First, you're going to be downloading MATLAB from the website. If you're working on some of the CU-based computers, it might actually already be installed for you, so you might not have to download it. But if you're running it on your own machine, you will need to download and set up the paths correctly. The next thing you're going to be doing is Googling ERP Lab and downloading the zip file associated from the GitHub page. Now, one of the things that I found was that when I was actually working and setting up some of these files, they did again differ than what's in this lab document sheet. But again, it's dependent on whether you have a Mac or a Windows. So I will be there and we could work through any issues that you might have getting this set up. But this is probably going to be the most intensive part, this first few minutes of getting you set up on MATLAB. But once you're set up, it's pretty straightforward from there. You're going to be downloading another zip file, moving some files around, and then just running the MATLAB code. And it's going to take about 5 to 7 minutes to run. And once it's all finished running, it's going to generate a series of plots. And what we're going to be doing is just saving some of the outputs from that and then uploading it for an additional part of this lab. Finally, the last part of this lab is getting you set up on Research Rabbit. And it's a free account, and it's basically an AI integrated software that's going to allow us to work with various publications and set up different collections for our research that we're going to be working with this semester. So all you have to do for this is just create an account, upload two papers in a collection titled PSYC 4145 underscore your last name. Take a screenshot of your dashboard, and then that's going to be the additional part of your submission. So overall, this is going to be a pretty straightforward lab that you're going to be running today. Again, the idea is just to get you familiarized with the different software and research integrative features that we're going to be working with this semester. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me prior to the start of lab. If not, I'll see you all on Wednesday.